afternoon, everyone. We have just completed the meeting of the first Australia-India Education and Skill Council. We have on the dais Honourable Minister for Education, Government of Australia, Honourable Jason Clare, Honourable Minister of Education and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Mr. Sanjay Murthy, Secretary Higher Education, Government of India, and Australian High Commissioner to India, Mr. Philip Green. Before we start the press conference, there are some MOUs to be exchanged before the ministers. I request Matthew to please give us more information and call upon the signees exchange.
Thank you very much, Nina. Good afternoon, honourable dignitaries, but also to members of the press and members of the Australian Indian delegation. It's a pleasure to be with you here this afternoon. As Nina mentioned, there are 5 agreements being exchanged today before ministers, and I will just ask in turn for the partners to come forward with their already pre-signed MOUs to exchange, and I'll just make some brief remarks about what the initiatives are that they are undertaking. The first I'll call on will be Mr. Paul Harris, representing Australia's Innovative Research Universities Consortium. The IRU, because we like an acronym, is a coalition of 7 public universities across Australia: Flinders University, James Cook University, La Trobe University, Murdoch University, Griffith University, and the University of Canberra and Western Sydney University. The objective of IRU's MOU is to provide a framework for closer cooperation between parties, those universities, in strengthening the Australia-India Education Partnership. Under the MOU, participating members will work together to explore the potential for a consortium approach to in-country delivery of degrees in India and expand in-country access to Australian higher education qualifications for Indian students. Please ask Paul to come forward and present the MOU for honourable ministers, and just to make some very brief remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matthew. And let me start by thanking both governments and both distinguished ministers for the opportunity to be here with you today. My name is Paul Harris. I'm the Executive Director of the Innovative Research Universities. We are a group of Australian universities committed to education and research that is inclusive, high quality, and that delivers impact. On behalf of 6 universities in our group, I'm thrilled to be able to present to Minister Pradhan and Minister Clare today a signed agreement for a new consortium approach to further strengthen the education partnership between Australia and India. The 6 universities in this consortium, as announced, are Flinders University, Griffith University, James Cook University, La Trobe University, the University of Canberra, and Western Sydney University. Together, these universities already have strong links with Indian partners, with over 100 partnership agreements covering student mobility, joint educational programs, and research collaboration. This new agreement is for a new form of collaboration, with the 6 universities forming a consortium to explore new opportunities for the delivery of Australian degrees in-country, in India, at scale. This innovative approach builds upon our existing models of international education, and it is the first time that a group of Australian universities have teamed up in this way. We've heard from both ministers a clear commitment to expanding participation in higher education, to broaden access, enhance equity, and meet our future skills needs. These values are at the heart of the universities in our group, which were first established to expand higher education and research across Australia. 50% of our Australian students are the first in their family to attend university. The Indian government's national education policy is opening up new opportunities for innovation and for a joint commitment to broadening participation in higher education. The universities in our group perform very strongly in global rankings of both quality and impact, and have extensive experience in transnational education. Through this new consortium, we look forward to strengthening our presence and our partnerships in India for the future, so that collaboration in education and research can deliver even more benefit for our two countries. And it's my pleasure to present both ministers with our signed agreement.
Thank you very much, Paul. I would now like to call on Professor Ian Martin, Vice-Chancellor of Deakin University, Mr. Deb Manitavari of the National Skill Development Corporation, come to the front please and present your MOUs. In partnership with NSDC, Deakin University has developed a global job readiness program to address skill shortages in India. This 30-hour program will be delivered online and aims to upskill 15 million Indians over 3 years. This partnership is an outcome of Minister Pradhan's August 2022 visit to Australia. The program focuses on skills in high demand among employers, and its mission is to produce a program to address the gap in life and workplace skills that Indian employers regularly point to as a hindrance to business, ensure the program is both affordable and accessible to the majority of India's youth, create the program with localised and relevant content that is relatable for candidates. The program has been designed to enhance candidate capabilities across 6 critical soft skills, particularly communication, collaboration, problem solving, innovation, financial literacy and digital literacy. And the program will also create a pathway to a Deakin degree program where the program will award students course credits upon program completion. I would ask the Vice Chancellor to present the signed MOUs to the Honourable Ministers.
Thank you.
There is. Can you see that? This way. Something like that.
Vice Chancellor, I hope you stay up front if you've got your other MOUs with you, and I'll call upon the Director of IIT Gandhinagar to please join us at the front of the stage here. So with the establishment, as you all know, of Deakin University's campus at Gift City, the key objective through the alliance with their partnership with IIT Gandhinagar is to provide support for a high quality higher education research ecosystem in this local region, the Knowledge Corridor. The partnership will focus on collaboration in science and innovation, mobility, faculty exchange and joint doctoral programs. It will also promote collaboration for bilateral funding opportunities and knowledge exchange through joint grant proposals, conferences and workshops. The collaboration with Deakin will provide an opportunity for IIT Gandhinagar students to transfer into higher studies and research at Deakin University, both in Australia and also at their new Gift City campus. The collaboration will enable Deakin University to broaden its engagement in India through a high-quality partnership. I please ask both the Director and Vice Chancellor to present your MOUs to the Honourable Ministers.
Fill up, please.
I would now like to call upon the Vice Chancellor of Monash University, Sue Elliott, to the front of the room, and the Director of IIT Hyderabad, Professor Murthy. If you could please come forward. I have copies of your MOUs here that are signed. for you to exchange for ministers. I'll give that to you, Vice Chancellor. This MOU is for collaboration on academic and research activities in the area of critical minerals and other areas of mutual interest for both Australia and India. The MOU includes the exchange of academic materials, scholars and students, cooperative seminars, workshops and other academic activities. I would ask the Director and Vice Chancellor to present your MOUs to the honourable ministers.
I'm going to get you to turn around and show it to them. Particularly about the critical minerals we're talking about.
And Professor Elliott, I'll ask you to remain at the front of the room here with me, and I would like to please invite to the stage Professor Anupam Jyoti from ICEM here in Ahmedabad. This MOU between Monash University and the International Centre of Excellence in Mining here in Ahmedabad. This MOU aims to foster research and innovation collaboration between Monash and ICEM to support the mining and mineral development sector in India. Our focus will be cooperation in reducing the impact of mining on climate change, increasing its efficiency, and enhancing capabilities in critical minerals and rare earth elements. I would ask the Director and Vice Chancellor to present your signed MOUs to all ministers. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all partners contributing to the deepening of the Australia and India education relationship. We thank you very much, and I'll now pass back to Nita.
Thanks, Matthew. I would now call upon Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Honourable Minister for Education and Minister for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, to give his remarks on the outcomes of the first Australia-India Education and Skill Council meeting.
Before that, I would request my Ministerial Excellency, Mr. Clare, I come here to show their preparedness, how they are prepared here for the education sector. I would like to show in front of you.
We can show these together here. Or we hold them back, right? There we go.
Thank you, friends, for participating in our media conference on our invitation. Excellency Jason Clare is here with me, and Excellency Ashok O'Connor is also with us. Just now we finished our Australia-India Education and Skill Council past meeting. He was part of that meeting. We have a very successful and fruitful meeting by both the countries. Friends, 2023 is a landmark year for Australia and India in the sector of education and skills. Both our leaders, Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, and Prime Minister of Australia, Sri Honorable Excellency Albanese, made thrice in 2023. and my colleague, I'm meeting my dear colleague, Mr. Clare, for the second time in 2023. Excellency, Mr. O'Connell was here in the month of July, who is in charge of skill and training. Our Minister, Excellency Butler, who is in charge of health sector. I also met him in 2023, I think in August. So in all our meetings, be at leadership level, be at our level, education and skill is one of the primary and priority area for our discussion. When I had been to Australia in 2022 August, after the new government at Australia, before that Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Albanese met on the sideline of Quad. They decided on one important area. More cooperation and more mobility will be there by both the countries. More than 100,000 Indian students are studying in Australia. More than 400 tie-ups are there with Australian universities and Indian institutions and universities. The way we have witnessed few of them right now. And I am happy to inform you, tomorrow both of us are going to visit the two new upcoming. For the first time, Australia is coming out of its own country and autonomous and independent campuses in GIFT city of Gujarat, in Gandhinagar, Wollongong and the Decans. From next academic year, students will be studying here. To take it forward today, IIT Gandhinagar and Deccan had a MOU for more further study and research collaboration. Today, we discussed lot of things. I show you few of the documents we have prepared from ourselves, from the Australian government. I am complimenting and thankful to Australian Education and Skill Department to make it a serious and successful discussion. We discuss about more cooperation and collaboration area of research, especially the area like mines and mineral and specific critical mineral. There are a lot of mineral resource in area like cobalt and lithium in Australia. And with today's MOU with IIT Hyderabad and with Monash, the further study and detailing will be there in that critical mineral area. In area of agriculture, in the area of water management, in the area of healthcare, more research will be there, more student exchange program will be there, more faculty exchange program will be there, more dual degree, twinning of degree, more joint PhD will be there. And we all agreed, let us identify the priority area from both the sides. What are our common interests? With this kind of agreement, not only we complement each other's economy and aspiration, but also fulfill the global requirement as envisioned by our great leader, Prime Minister Modi, which was the theme of the G20 also, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, entire global humanity is one family, and Australia and India is ready to take responsibility of the entire humanity. And education is the mothership of all the sector of the society. This is the civilizational background of our country, and the area of skill development. We also agreed to work on this priority area: agriculture, mines and mineral, logistics, healthcare, renewable energy, AI, in all these areas. And today also still university prepared themselves. And I am happy today, six of the state university created a consortium to work in India in the area of education and skill development. Today we will show a right we have chosen Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad as our venue because Prime Minister Modi has a vision to create a new level of wealth creator and new level of service industry in our country. And Gandhinagar has a right choice by our leadership. Gandhinagar is fast emerging as a knowledge hub. Quality institution like IIT Gandhinagar, institution like IIM Ahmedabad, institution like Central University, institution like MS University, saved. There are a lot of public and private universities ecosystem is working in around Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad. Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad has a natural aptitude towards entrepreneurship and GIFT city, the first of its kind in our country. It's a free economic zone, free trade zone, and we are envisioning a new level of service industry in this area. So this collaboration of Australia and India is going to complement our aspiration in a collaborative manner, and certainly I am in charge of education sector since last few years, and I can say proudly the kind of mutual understanding of each other's requirement and the need and our strength. There is a total agreement between Australia and India. I am happy and congratulating all the educationists, all the policy in charge, for envisioning a brighter pathway in future. Thank you, friends.
I now request Honorable Jason Clare, Minister for Education, Government of Australia, to give his remarks, please.
Thank you, Nita. Is it morning or afternoon? It's been a long day already. Good afternoon, everyone. To Minister Pradhan, thank you for hosting us here today. It's good to be back in India. This is my second visit to India this year. I joked to Minister Pradhan that I've seen him more times this year than some of my family. But the truth is, our Prime Ministers have met more than we have. They've met 3 times since we last met in March. And I think that is a sign of the depth and the strength of the relationship between our 2 countries and the opportunity that lies ahead. I want to thank the University Vice-Chancellors from Australia who are with us and other leaders from the Australian higher education sector and vocational education sector that are with us. Something like 15 or 16 members of my delegation that are here. There are almost as many Vice-Chancellors in this room as there are TV cameras. And at a press conference like this, that's saying something. Minister Pradhan, when we first met in August last year, you talked about your vision, you talked about Prime Minister Modi's vision for a future India and what education could do for India. You talked about our job as being the mother portfolio, the portfolio from which everything else happens, everything else springs, that makes everything possible. And I'm still taken aback by the scale, the size, the audacity of that vision. to have 50% of young people in tertiary education by 2035. And what's needed to make that happen. But in a sense, Australia knows that because Australia has done that as well. Over the last 50 years, we've seen that sort of change happen in Australia. When I was a little boy, barely 7% of Australians had a university degree. Today, it's almost 50%. And that has changed Australia too. So what India is embarking on now is nation-changing reform. And we know that you have set a challenge for us to be partners with you in that endeavour. And I hope that you can see by the presence of the eminent people in this room that we heard your challenge in Sydney and that we have responded. I brought half the university sector here in March, the other half here today. And I particularly recognise two friends of mine who are in the room as well. Lisa Singh, a former Senator of the Australian Parliament, Jody Mackay, who's just over the back there, beyond my side, a former leader of the opposition in the New South Wales Parliament. They tell a story for us too, that long after we're finished in politics, we still have work to do. Because this is a relationship between two countries which is bigger than politics. It's about friendship and it's about partnership. Whilst we are the current people sitting in this chair, this is a story that goes back for decades and decades and decades. And in the years ahead, there'll be others that work like we are working now to make this relationship even better and even stronger than it is today. Lisa, your report says that there are 450 existing research partnerships between Australian institutions and Indian institutions. And we signed 4 more agreements today, so we build on that work. There are already Australian universities that run courses in Indian higher education institutions. But over the course of the next few months, we're turning courses into campuses. And as Minister Pradhan made the point, tomorrow we will get to see the new University of Wollongong and Deakin University campuses that are being built right now in UC, providing an opportunity for students in India that doesn't exist at the moment. Because for as many young Indian students who make their way from India to Australia to study, there will always be many who can't afford to do that, for whom that's a bridge too far. And by setting up a campus here in India, it provides an opportunity for Indian students to study at an Australian university in India for half the price, arguably less than that when you take into account the cost of accommodation and living expenses in Australia. So this is an example of us thinking differently and taking our relationship to the next level. And the consortia agreement announced today, Paul, by the IRU team, is the next step. And it shows that what we have agreed already is just the start, and that there is so much more that we can do together. Which brings me to this document here today. The strategy, I think the key word here is not strategy, the key word here is partnership. This is a partnership. When I left India in March, I said to my department, what more can we do to help? But India has this big, bold, ambitious plan that will require something like moving from 1,000 universities to 2,000. That will require moving from about 40 million young people at university now to 90 million at university by the middle of the century. What can Australia do to help? And this roadmap, this document here, sets out some of the things that we think we can do to help. And that's some of the things we're doing already. That campuses that we're setting up here and potentially elsewhere in India. It's the twin degrees or dual degrees. It's that blended learning where we can provide online opportunities as well. But Minister Pradhan, as we talked about today, and as you just mentioned there, what more we can do in the area of combined research. Combined work with PhDs as well. There is so much good work that we can potentially do together in those areas of critical importance to both countries. Australia is the biggest provider to the world of lithium. India, arguably one day will become one of the biggest producers of electric cars. What more can we do together, government to government, and universities to universities, education sector to education sector, industry to industry collaborating together. And one of the big things that came out of the meeting today was how we intensify that collaboration in the years ahead. So, Minister Pradhan, thank you for welcoming me back to India. I look forward to welcoming you to Australia again next year when we get a chance to renew our friendship. But the truth is, we're good friends whether we're together or whether we're apart. We send messages to each other from time to time. And our two departments, our two sectors work together intensively all the time. And we saw the benefit of that today in the work that's happened over the last few months. So thank you very much again. And looking forward to spending this afternoon and tomorrow with you as we look at the work that we can do together.
एक्सलेंसी प्लेयर IIT दिल्ली के गांधीनगर के अंदर जो सेंटर ऑफ क्रिएटिव लर्निंग हमारे देश की बच्चों की क्वालिटेटिव एजुकेशन के लिए IIT गांधीनगर ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। उस सेंटर को देखने वाले हैं। फिर दीनदयाल एनर्जी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर जो हमारी सेमीकंडक्टर की ऊपर स्किल के अच्छे काम हुए हैं उनको भी हम उनको दिखाने वाले हैं। फिर गुजरात में जो विद्या समीक्षा केंद्र स्कूल एजुकेशन की टोटल डाटा सेंटर बनाया है उसको भी हम दिखाएंगे। कल रिसर्च के ऊपर एक कॉन्क्लेव होने वाला है जिसे कहा गया दो यूनिवर्सिटी लॉन्गॉन्ग और डिकेम्स दो यूनिवर्सिटी का भी कल कैंपस विजिट होगा। यहाँ की माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल जी से भी आज सौजन्य मुलाकात होगी। ये 2 दिन की एक भारत और ऑस्ट्रेलिया, भारत ऑस्ट्रेलिया केवल क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते हैं, भारत ऑस्ट्रेलिया सीरीज एजुकेशन में भी हम एंगेज हैं और ये रिश्ता आने वाले दिनों में और बढ़ने वाला है। थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स।
Maybe it's slowly.